back to my channel. My name is Francisca Brackin John. This evening, the word for this evening, I don't know, the enemy was just real interfering with my mind, and I almost didn't get this word clear. But the word for this evening, I'm going to just jump right into it. For all who are new here, by the way, welcome. For those who have been supporting, thank you so much, welcome. Remember to share and subscribe, right? So the word for this evening is taken from Exodus. I just now lost the page. I had the page here, and it's like I just now lost Exodus 14, right? And I'm going to read a little bit in it so you can understand what the Lord is saying to us through this one. And Exodus 14, it goes like this. Then the Lord gave these instructions to Moses. Order the Israelites, and I'm bringing you close to my face so you can hear me clear, right? Order the Israelites to turn back and camp by some really weird name, but you'll read it, between, next reading it, and the sea, and camp there along the shores across from Baalifin, okay. If I don't know it, yeah, go back and read it, right? Then Pharaoh will think the Israelites are confused, they are trapped in the wilderness, and once again I will harden Pharaoh's heart and he will chase after you. I have planned this in order to display my glory through Pharaoh and his whole army. After this, Egypt will know that I am the Lord. And what the Lord was really speaking to me through that, he said, sometimes the Lord will take things in a different way, to a longer way, like to getting you to the things that he has promised to give to you. He will take it via the longer route, and the way that seems like if it's not gonna happen or wherever it is. And he said it's for a reason. Sometimes he will call for pharaohs and his army, for people to come up against you, for stuff to come up against you, impossible things to come up against you, for it to look impossible just like the seas, because he wants to show off his glory to a people that does not know your God, because he wants to show off his glory. He said, look what he did in Egypt. He said, these things unjust or whatever it is that he had in Pharaoh's heart. He said, I did it on purpose because I wanted to show you as well as to show your enemies that these are my people. He said, because if you look at going down when they reached the Amorites and the Midianites and they were about to enter, when Joshua was leading them in, he said the reason why their enemies were so frightened of them in the first place, he said because the Lord said, I am placing fear into their heart so that they will know when they come up against you, they are coming up against me. He said they began to get afraid and said, do you know who these people are? You remember that their God opened up the seas, that their God do all of these things for them. Don't trouble those people. And he said he's about to show off his power so much over you that many from time to come, when people think to even trouble you, they will say to themselves, no, because I've seen the glory of their Lord by the Red Sea, when it looked like if ain't nothing going to happen. He said it's on purpose. He said it's on purpose. He led you this way and it's taking this long because it is on purpose. He causing some people to even come up against you and to try some stuff because he wants to show off his greatness. He said when Jesus Christ was on the earth and he tell his disciples, go out into the water and I'll meet you there, and he began to walk on the seas. He said because it was on purpose, because I want them to know my level of power that I have. He said you will never again doubt him or have not faith inside of his word, because you will know, you will see his greatness, you will know that you will never again doubt him when you meet your seas, when you meet your Red Seas. You will never doubt him when many things come up against you, when it look impossible, when it look like you need a miracle, because you will know your God is in the miracle working. Your God is in the miracle working business. They will never again doubt him, right? So he said he allowed these things to happen because he wants to show to Pharaoh how great he is, because like he forgot. And he said he also wants your faith level so that you will never doubt him again. When he said jump, you will never doubt, or whatever it is, you will do it. When he said do something, because you will remember all these things. He said he led you by the Red Sea. He led you to these situations. He led you to these mountains. He led you to these problems for a reason, because he wants to show himself to be miracle working God over everything that look impossible to you. So you will never again guess to wonder if he can really do it or wherever it is, because you would see his hands. Something else that he was telling me, and he said many people will ask why it start off like that, or wherever it is. Something that God has given you. God has given you something, but it's starting off very low, and it's starting off with one and with twos and all these kind of things, just like this ministry or wherever it is, starting off so low. And he said the reason for that is because he said, look at Noah, look at many of the prophets of old. He said they oftentimes had was to do my work with no one supporting them. And he said many of you all have to get accustomed to no one supporting you. He said, because if you do it because of the likes of others, or because of whatever it is reason, what man can give you, he said, then man can take it away. If you do it because you have plenty people backing you, then guess what? When they fall off, or wherever it is, when they stop supporting, because people is iffy, because people is iffy, when they stop supporting, guess what? You're gonna stop doing God's work. And he said, I want you to maintain your integrity. He said, through the storm, through who stays, through who goes, because this thing is originated from God. Because if man give you this thing, and if your reasons for it is not purely because I want to do this, because I want to serve the Lord, because I want to do this, he say, oh God and my Redeemer, because the Lord said to do it, he say, you're gonna fall off. So sometimes he led you through that, and he allowed the 23 and for no one to back you up, just like Noah, because he wants to see, oh God and my, who are you really in this thing? Who are you really doing this thing for? Who are you really doing this thing for? Is it for the likes of others, or are you gonna be the Samuels in the earth that ain't doing it, oh God and my Redeemer, for anybody else but because of the Lord? Because if you're doing it to please people, it's not gonna work. If you know God has given you something, ministry or whatever it is, and you're doing it to please people, it's not gonna work. He said many of the prophets had was to still stand up outside there, even when everybody laughed at them and called them crazy, and still proclaim the word by themselves with no one backing them, and still proclaim it because God said to do it. And if you haven't reached into a point where God said to do this, I'm going to do it, regardless whoever it is, he said, you're gonna fail. He said this is why he led you through this way, because he wanted to be a regardless of who stays or who goes, you're gonna still proclaim what thus saith the Lord. It's not gonna be for likes. Another thing he was telling me this morning, I sat there and I heard something, and it was in the news about someone took their lives, and as somebody else take their life. And I was saying to myself, I said, Lord, and I began to cry, because that is how I am. That is how I am. I don't like to hear about these things. I don't take pleasure in hearing about someone losing their life, about someone doing something to themselves. I don't take pleasure in these things. So when I hear that, I began to cry, and I began to pray, and I asked him, I said, Abba, why? I said, Abba, why? Because I know, listen, I ain't play a halfway know my Father, that he's loving, that he's kind, that he's so nice, that he's so wonderful. But I said, Abba, why? I said, Abba, why does that these things happening? I said, why all of this, or whatever it is? And he said, irregardless, just like what I was saying in a video before. He said, irregardless, man choose. Oh God. He said, oh, look at Isaiah the prophet. Isaiah was there, and when Isaiah was there was a part in, I believe it's Isaiah chapter 6, when he said, you have seen the glory of the Lord and all of that. He said, but they have eyes, but they see not, ears, but they hear not. If it's not the exact chapter, but it's in Isaiah. They have eyes, but they see not, ears, but they hear not. Oh God and my Redeemer, at least they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and be converted and be changed. And he said the reason why is not that they ain't really hearing because everybody have ears. But he said the reason why they don't really listen and really take in that word and don't really pretend to not hear and pretend to not understand. He said because many people, Francine, have spoken this in many videos before. He said many people choose to be blinded when it comes to righteous living because they like that way. He said hell wasn't created, oh God and my Redeemer, hell wasn't created for mankind, but mankind choose hell. Heaven was created for mankind, but mankind choose to live a life without God. And where the Spirit of the Lord is and is void, he said, then the only thing is hell, that hell and the grave. If his Spirit is not there, because his Spirit is what is sustaining this whole world, his Spirit is what is causing us to have life inside of us and breath. And if the Spirit of the Lord is not there, he said, and guess what? A body without a spirit is dead. And he said, a man without me is dead. Just like our, and I saw this in something, just like how the plant without the ground is dead, he said, a body without a spirit is dead. Man without me is dead. And man has chosen not to listen to God's commandment, and they choose another way, and then they continue the old path. And this is why we are seeing that. This is why we are seeing all what we are seeing, because man chooses to hear the word of God, but pleasures of sin suit them and please them so much that they pretend that they ain't really hearing. Because if I really hear and I really understand, then I'll change from my ways. So I'm going to pretend that I'm not really hearing what the Lord is saying. I'm going to pretend I'm going to have every excuse not to listen. And he said the outcome of that is death. The outcome of that is loss of lives. The outcome of that is hell. Because man chooses not to listen. He says it's not me that is doing all of that. He said man choose that part. Man choose not to follow commandments. Man, yes, you're telling them that is wrong, don't do it. And man still choose to do it. And he said, guess what's going to happen? Consequences for their actions of living without me. You see, unfortunately, this is how it works. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna stop there. I believe that is all he's saying. Also, he said something with that same Red Sea, and I'm gonna finish there. He said with the Red Sea, he said sometimes the Lord allows certain things. He allows certain things to happen to block us, certain irreversible stuff to happen to block us from going back. Because when we see these situations that the Lord has set up to show off his glory, because he said he will call Pharaoh's army, and he will call this, and he will call that, and he will call a whole bunch of problems your direction. And he said when you see it, you would get scared and you would want to run back or wherever it is. And he said he blocked that pathway because he wants you to be still. Praise the Lord. I feel his presence so much on that. Oh, praise your name, Lord. He wants you to be still and know. Oh, holy. He said he wants you to be still and know that he is the great I am, that he is I am that I am. He wants you to be still and know that that he's Jehovah Rapha, that he's the one that is fighting your wanting. He wants you to be still and know that he's the one that supplies all of your needs. He wants you to be still and see no weapon formed against you, woman, man of God, shall prosper. He wants you to be still and see that 10,000 shall come, but it shall fall by thy right and thy left, but none shall come nigh thy dwelling place. He wants you to be still and see that that I am, oh God and my Redeemer, is still living. He's still reigning, and he never fails nor forsake his righteous vessel. Oh God and my Redeemer. He say, oh God and my Redeemer. He wants you to be still and see, oh God, his glory. He said, but if you block your direction because of what you're facing in front of you, you're gonna think you're gonna want to run. He said, don't run. You be still, because he said when Moses was at that sea and the Red Sea was there, they was crying and thinking to run back, but that was the other way. He blocked that pathway, and the needle was to face. Oh God and my Redeemer, they had problems. He said, but they never knew that they had a God over them that could split the very seas open to make a way where it seemed to be no way. And he said, man and woman of God, he said, he wants you to see that, oh God, you have a God that is over you, that is able, dear Lord, oh God and my Redeemer, to make a way where it seemed to be no way through every situation, because he said, I am still the Kempton, your Korea. I am still miracle worker, oh God, promise keeper, like the song, like the lady that sing, light in the darkness. He said, I am that I am, want to show off his greatness. He said, but be still and know that I am Jehovah God. Be still and know that he is God. I'm going to stop there. You guys share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Check out the other videos. There's great videos. There's great videos lower down. Check out the rest of them. Right? I'm gonna stop there because I feel the spirit. Okay, I feel the spirit. Comment on these videos. So, you know, comment what, how you feel. I like to know. My only thing that I love out of this is to know that you guys, that a soul has received the message, and that is being encouraged, that is being changed, that is being transformed, right? So anyway, you guys, bye. Stay blessed, stay strong. Remember, Yahshua Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and I